So hello friends, the other day, well not the other day, quite a few months ago I bought a batch of lenses, and then among them there was the Nikon lens scope converter that I made a video about how to fix it, the 28f2 that I made a comparison with the 28f2.8. Okay, so and there was this one really nice lens from the 70s, and it's a Nikkor-H 300mm RF 4.5. I think it's from the mid 70s, maybe earlier. Construction is just fantastic, all metal, well, the lens is quite heavy. Optics are rather good, especially for a lens which has 40 years, even more. Okay, and then okay, this lens is cosmetically in pristine condition. The interior is nice, optics are nice. It's only the rear lens I'm not going to show you because it's deeply recessed. Okay, we can try it maybe, as you can see. Okay, but if you see through, you will immediately see that there is some haze inside the lens and then some dust. So yesterday, before obviously start working on the video, I tried some time trying to figure out how to disassemble the lens in the simplest way, and then the simplicity of disassembly of this lens is just beyond anything else I have seen before, and then I'm going to show it to you now. Okay, so if you obviously go to the shortest focal length here, which is 4, and then you look, there's one small hole here. So let me zoom into it. Okay, there's a flat screw there, which I already removed. I have it here on my hand. It's so small. Okay, it's here. I removed already. So for you to know, I put a drop of nail polish removal before, let it work for a few minutes, and then it came off easily. And then the next thing you have to do is let me de-zoom up here, and then I think it's very simple to do. You simply twist. Well, you need to force a little bit. You twist this ring, and then you rotate for a while, and then at some point, someday, okay, oh, okay, up, you see, comes out. Now I have to separate the lens in two pieces. So this part here has all the optics, it's a complete block, and then this part here contains the aperture ring, all the levers, and then the focusing mechanism here. And then I don't have to do anything here because condition is almost perfect. Even the grease, which is very old, is still standing, and then the resistance is just right. Okay, and then I have here the part with the optics, and the element I am concerned with is the back element. This is where I saw the haze and the dust, and then why, you might ask yourself, and I asked myself this question before, is if everything is sealed, how come that you can get dust inside? Okay, and this is rather simple. You see these apertures here, these are for the aperture lever. and then this is openings. These are openings that really go directly into the optical assembly, and then after a few years, 40, yeah, you get some dust inside. So we're going now to remove the back element here. As you can see, I already made a scratch here. You can even see the haze here. Okay, so let me zoom a little bit so you get a nice view of it. Okay, so this is my back element here, which has some haze and some dust that we're going to clean. Yesterday when I tried to open, I had my spanner which slipped here, and then I got a scratch. So here is not very important because it's just a metal part. I'm going to paint black just after, before for the final assembly, and then be careful with this, because if it was glass, your glass will be completely destroyed. Okay, so this part removes simply by unscrewing here. So here you have the assembly, and then as I told you before, you have these levers which do the aperture ring motions. So this is the small lever who connects to the camera, and then this is the aperture ring lever who fixes the aperture at a given aperture that you want. Okay, this part is clean. There's probably some dust inside that we're going to blow before reassembly. Here we don't have to do anything. And then the parts which require some work is here. That is the back element here. No, it's nude. Okay, so and then this part I already checked it under some magnifying glass, and then is this element here exactly the last element, which has the haze inside. So we need to remove it. So this block is I think it's a fully machine block, because I'm not able to see any gap here. Probably I miss it. But then what we want to do is to remove actually this back lens here from the assembly, and then this is rather easy. Once more, obviously the lens is very old and the glue is very old. So what I did is I put some nail polish solvent that I put in this bottle, and then I put it inside here. So I dip it into the groove, and then I was able to remove this ring easily. As you can see, I have to force just for a second, and then it came out. And then with this done, I will be able to take off that lens and then clean it. I don't like using this thing more than necessary, because I'm always afraid of the thing slipping and scratching something. So it's rather hard. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to okay. Just want to wait a few. I just want to wait a few seconds to get my rubber cones that I have here. that I presented you before my review of the tools of lens repair, and then this scene is yeah, I prefer it over the spanner because yeah, here you take yeah, the risks you take are minimal, but it's not working. Okay, no, yeah, this one works. Okay, so I removed it. Up. Let me put all this away. So I have these two elements. Let me dim the light. No, I think I can remove the lens easily. Yeah, I feel it coming. I need to find a way to take it out. Okay, so I'm going to find a way to take it out, and then I will come back to you in a few seconds. So hello, in the meantime I went for lunch and did many things, but then when we stopped before, we were going to disassemble this assembly here, so I removed this lens. Usually you can remove it with a cup. Let me find one. Okay, so you have you can remove this kind of things with a cup. So this one is actually too big for to remove this lens, and I don't have smaller ones, which makes me think that I need to get some smaller ones. But then what I did is I removed this just by pulling it gently with my finger on the borders. So I was pulling until it came out. So so we reach the guilty element, which is this one, and then now we can clean it. We can reassemble the lens, and then I think it's going to be as good as it was like 40 years ago. So I'm going to get my cleaning stuff, and then we'll start the cleaning. Okay, so hello again. So we're ready. Well, I actually cleaned the lens already, which is something rather simple. I have the gear for cleaning the lens, which is this isopropyl alcohol, 80 or 90% it should do. Optical cleaning paper, so I use two types. So this one, I don't know how to describe the types anyway. This one, which looks more like paper, I use it for the initial cleaning, and then this second one, which is more like tissue, for the second cleaning. And then procedure is rather simple. I put the iso alcohol on the surface I want to clean. Let me probably zoom a bit. Then I rub with the paper once. Then I repeat the operation. I do it with I put again the iso alcohol, and then I do it with the softer tissue, and then generally this is it. And you can blow to remove the extra dust inside on the surface of the lens. But this is it. So at the end of the day, and then this has always amazed me, is how you can find lenses on the internet which are super good lenses, but they're extremely cheap because they usually have haze or dust inside, or the focusing ring is blocked. And then you always realize that it usually boils down to one single element, This time it was this very small lens, and then as you can see, it took like 30 seconds to clean it, a few minutes to reach it, but then once this repair done and the lens reassemble, I think the lens will be good for service for another 4 years. So I will get myself ready for reassembling the lens. So hello, I am back. I put the optics back together. I do this because I want to minimize the risk of having dust inside the lenses, and then yeah, this is the kind of thing that happens if you don't pay attention to that. Otherwise, the lenses are clean. I however noticed that there was some degradation on the coating, but there is nothing I can do. However, it is clean, and now we can proceed to the reassembly. And to do so, there is actually 2 steps. So here on the bottom, you can see it here, maybe. Okay. With the focusing, here you see a pin which is behind the ring which fixes everything. So this pin matches this opening here, and then here on the interior you have a few levers. So you have this one, the large fork is for the aperture lever that moves here with the spring, and then the thin one is for the aperture ring. So you notice here that I drew a red line here, and then this is because we're going to do the reassembly in 2 steps. So because what we have here on the lens is we have the pin I showed to you before, and then we have this small lever which is for the aperture ring. Yeah. So I put it at the equivalent of f22. I put f22 here, and then with the line I drew here, yeah, that red line here, not easy to see, but here you have a red line. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to insert it, and then I'll try to be aligned with the red line, so that I know I am in. And then the other thing I did is I remove the bayonet here, as you can see, because with the bayonet comes this fork here. So by doing so, I am able to realign with the aperture ring. Okay, this is not very obvious to do, but once you find the right position, which is the other lever, so you finish the assembly, you need to re-screw the bayonet, and then you're done. Okay, so this part is not very difficult to do. So I think we can say we have finished the repair. So thanks for watching, and see you next time.